So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. I'm gonna take this shirt off. It is December 24th today, Christmas Eve, and it's 60 degrees here in Tennessee. That's pretty warm for this time of year, but I'll take it. All right, guys, if you missed the last video, this is our newest tractor. This is a TYM 5835, 58 horsepower, power shuttle, four-wheel drive farm tractor. I'm really happy with it so far, and today we're gonna do some stuff to it here before we really put it to work. Now in the last video when I showed this tractor, some of you guys asked me if the other tractor was still here, meaning the 754. And it is, friends, it's sitting right over there. That's my favorite tractor. Although the 5835 does have the power shuttle, and I think I like that better than the transmission on the 754. You can get a power shuttle on the 754. Mine just has the regular clutch back and forth. You know, the power shuttle, you just pull the lever. It's pretty handy. But that right there, guys, is my favorite tractor. But this 5835 may turn into my favorite tractor before it's over with. I'm gonna throw some numbers out here that may confuse some of you all. I just sold my 574 about 2 months ago. That was my other tractor. It was a cab model. And on that tractor, I had a toolbox that was an aftermarket purchase that would mount right here on the loader. This U-bolt went behind the loader, or behind this bracket right here, and the toolbox mounted to this. Now this right here, friends, isn't going to work because it's too big. I can't get this U-bolt, or whatever you want to call this right here, around the loader frame. But we do have another option. So right here in the loader, friends, are some threaded holes. There's 3 of them. I have no idea why they're there. They're on both sides of this tractor. And I think I can get some bolts and bolt the frame of the toolbox to that. Probably have to use some washers, but I think this will work. It won't be as good as that bracket right there, but I think it'll work. I've already got the frame that goes on the toolbox that bolts to the tractor up here at the shop. We'll go see if we can find some bolts to fit it. And I'll show you guys my new method for sorting bolts and nuts here at the mechanic shop. Some of you guys have probably already seen this before, but it may be new to some of you. Might as well go ahead and open up the big door. Mr. Cotto's got to come out anyway, so he's got to unload that bush hog. So one of my long-term goals with this shop is have a complete hardware store in here, meaning if I need a nut or a bolt or a washer, or a clevis, anything, I've got it here. I don't have to run back and forth to town. That'll kill you on productivity as far as your day goes if you're working from home, which is what I do here at the Sawmill. If you get on something and you're starting to need some odd sized bolts or some nuts, and you stop what you're doing, run to Tractor Supply, fight traffic, come back, you'll kill maybe an hour or 2 right there. And that just isn't feasible, guys. I'm gonna try to build up an inventory here so I have everything here that I need 90% of the time. I know sometimes you won't have a certain size, but if you have all the common sizes on hand, you're gonna be ahead of the game. So in order to do that, I've started investing in these little trays right here. And you'll see these at the hardware store. I know Colonial Heights Hardware up on Fort Henry Drive, the hardware store I go to for everything. They have probably a couple of hundred of these right here, and they're really handy. You pull them out right there on this drawer system, open them up, and right there, guys, let me tilt you all over, is your assorted sizes. This is grade 8 right here. It's got a bunch of different sizes. It starts at 1/4 and goes all the way to 1/2 inch. Now, I bought these from boltsandnuts.com. This is not a sponsored video. Bought this with my own money. This drawer right here containing all these sizes cost me about $100, and this holder right here that you see in the background, which will hold up to 4 of them, cost me about $135, I believe. So a little bit of an investment going in, but I think it's going to pay for itself in the long run just by my time. So right here, guys, is one of the reasons I went with this system. You got a card right here that goes on the top, has all your different sizes, got 1/4 all the way to 1/2 inch, all the lengths, and your washers, your nut, and your lot washers right here in the very end. And this system right here, this graph rather, corresponds to everything you see down here below. Another good feature on this system, friends, is inventory control. So let's say you run out of 1/4 by 3/4, which is right here. You could go to Tractor Supply and buy a bag of those and put them back in there, and that would work just fine. But if you don't want to leave the house, you go up here to this little code, you scan that with your phone, and you order what you need out of this set. So for you guys out there that have a home business and you deal with a lot of machines, you got a lot of tools on hand, you're always dealing with moving parts like we do here at my sawmill, you may want to consider investing in a set like this. Like I was saying earlier, this is the first little drawer that I bought. Every month I'm going to buy another drawer until this gets filled up. Then I'll probably buy another one of these and keep going. And I'm going to go ahead and say by this time next year, I should have a pretty decent hardware store here in this shop if I keep doing this every month. So the main reason I try to show stuff like this on my channel is not brag about my tools or show what I'm spending money on. I'm trying to help some of you guys that may be thinking about doing a different system, or you've not even thought about this, and it may help you out if you go down this road. Because I don't know how many times I've been at my shop or out here in the field and something breaks or I lose a bolt and look around and you don't have it on hand. And like I was saying earlier, there's 2 hours gone going to the hardware store. And in winter time, when daylight time is precious because of the hours that we're keeping right now with this time change, I hate this time of year with the time change. I like to throw that in there as well. I always try to throw that in there when I can. But you know, you gotta take advantage of the daylight that you have, and if you can stay home and keep working because you have all this stuff on hand, it's gonna make a difference in your day. Here is the bracket. That goes to the tractor, and the toolbox kind of latches on that. And I think about 1/4 inch will work, but we're gonna have to have some pretty good sized washers for that gap right there. So this is an instance, guys, when having this right here on hand will save me some time. 1/4 by 1 inch is too short. 1 1/4. That should work right there. So 1/4 by 1 1/4. I've already got some washers ready to go. I sure hope this works. Having a toolbox on the tractor sure is nice. I will admit, that's a pretty small bolt for what we're going to do today. This is a grade 8, so it's pretty stout, but I wish it was a little bit bigger. I don't know if you guys can see him up there. We got a red-tailed hawk circling around the farm today. And I got the chickens out, so I'm gonna keep a watch on him, make sure he doesn't try to snatch one of them. He's been hanging around up there for about 20 minutes. All right, guys, hopefully this will line up pretty good. And it does. Get this other one hooked up and we'll be ready to put the toolbox on it. That's my first time using this. I got this for my birthday. That's a Hercules brand. You get these at Harbor Freight. And I'll tell you what, guys, in the past few years, or the past few months rather, it seems like Harbor Freight has really improved their hand tools. They're getting a lot of recognition nowadays that they didn't used to get. I'll tell you what, guys, that's pretty stout. I don't think we need a larger bolt right there. I think that will be plenty good enough for the toolbox. And that right there shouldn't be in the way either. Let's go grab it and see how it looks. See if this works. Looky there. That worked. There's also a pin that goes on this frame. It keeps the toolbox from jumping off if you start getting kind of crazy with what you're doing on the tractor. Install complete. This is my first job of the day, and we got this one knocked out. Now we have a proper toolbox on the new tractor. Now this tractor does have a toolbox that came on it from the factory, right back here in the rear, and I'll probably keep some hitch pins or something in there. But I like to have a bigger one for tools, for WD-40, you know, stuff like that you need out in the field. All right, guys, the second thing to take care of on the new tractor is a seat cover. So one of the primary duties of the new tractor is going to be mowing. We're going to be doing a lot of bush hogging and flail mowing as well with this tractor. So let's get the new bush hog off the trailer and see if we can get it hooked up to the rear of this thing. So this right here, guys, is my new bush hog. It's a 6-footer made by Ironcraft. Well, there's the hawk. He's staying pretty close today. He usually keeps his distance. All right, friends, this is where the video may get kind of interesting. Need to figure out the best way to get this off the trailer. There's probably not a good way to do it without trying to put a chain or something around it. Although, the guys at Ironcraft told me over at the shipping yard, if I come underneath this with some pallet forks and they're long enough, I should be able to get underneath it and lift it straight up off the trailer. We're going to try that first. I'll probably rotate the blade in this plane right here so we don't put the forks on the cutter and bend those. But that may work. Famous last words, it probably won't. I think we'll go ahead before we put this on the ground and assemble the 3-point hitch bracket, and also there's some guards that go on the front and the back. All right, guys, I made a small mistake in the assembly. I had to get the owner's manual to look and see how something goes. The 3-point hitch was tilted backwards, and I couldn't figure out what was going on there, so I looked at the manual and I put it on backwards. That's a shocker, isn't it? Other YouTube channels probably wouldn't show this, but I'm human. I make a lot of mistakes here, and I'll try to share them with you guys when I do. Now this right here, guys, is something I like. Ironcraft put this little tube on here for your owner's manual. Looks like it's watertight also. I wish everybody would do that. And maybe they do, I don't know. All right, friends, right here is the mistake. These two bars are supposed to go under this one. That little lip right there goes on the top. I put it on the bottom. I'm not sure why, but that's not the proper way of doing it. Let's switch this over and we will just about be done with the assembly. All right, friends, the last thing to do is check this gearbox. I'm not sure if there's oil in that or not. The owner's manual just said to check it to make sure. Yep, there's oil in there. It's starting to come out as I loosen the threads, so. Good deal. Real fast before we hook this onto the tractor, this is a category 1 3-point hitch. The new tractor is a category 2, so you got to get these little adapters to go on the 3-point hitch in order for it to fit right. These come from Tractor Supply. They're a couple of dollars a piece, and all you do is slide them over that, and voila, this is now a category 2 implement just by putting that adapter on there. You take it off and it's category 1. I like to put a little bit of grease on the shaft right there. For those that are interested, I use red and tacky on just about everything. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, one thing that I really hate to do is put attachments on 3-point hitches on tractors. There's no good way of doing it. I got the pat system, I got a quick hitch, none of it works right. The old method of just putting it on there I think works better than any of those, but it's still a pain. So before we get into this, and I'm really not looking forward to it, I'm gonna go grab me some lunch and I'll be right back. All right, friends, we're just about done. Got to put the top link on. And I was considering putting my hydraulic top link on this tractor. I had it on the 574 and I took it off of it right before I sold it because I wanted to reuse it. But I think we'll do that on another day because I am running out of daylight. Let's fire it up, raise it off the ground and make sure everything looks okay. All right, guys, here's the deal. We got a little bit of daylight left. We need to take the tractor down to the new barn and store it for the next few days because we're supposed to get a bunch of rain tomorrow. But I think we'll take it to the back field behind the barn and try this brush hog out. Maybe run 1 or 2 lines, nothing crazy. This tractor only has 2 hours on it, so I don't want to put a lot of load on it just yet. And then we'll come back up here because I need to unload some stuff out of the truck and get ready for tomorrow's video. So you guys that are still watching, stay tuned to the end. You'll get a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing tomorrow here at the channel. I did some work down here about 3 weeks ago with the lane shark. And we cut just a small area down here to see how that would perform. But I'm pretty sure the bush hog will do a whole lot better. I think I'll come in here today and go around this tree a little bit and over there in front of that cedar. These right here are going to be a problem, friends. I got a bunch of pear trees back here. And that looks like some honey locust right there, but I'm not sure. And there's about 50 of these back here in this field, and all of them need to be dug up and discarded. I might have to get myself a mini excavator down here for a few days to dig those up. That might be the best way of getting them out of here. But as far as today goes, I think I'll just come in here in a few of these high spots and test out this bush hog and see how she does. Now there's one thing I'm nervous about down here, friends, and it's not that I have a new tractor or a new attachment, it's the unknown of this land. I've only owned it for a few weeks and I have no idea what's underneath all this brush. There could be some old fencing under here, some fence posts, some tires, who knows? This hasn't been cleared off in about 20 years. So I'm trying to be kind of careful not to mess up anything. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit with the bush hog on it, but I believe it's going to. Looky there. Good deal. All right, guys, so tomorrow's Christmas and it's supposed to rain. So I thought I'd do a shop video tomorrow because I got a new accessory to put on my truck. And for those of you that stuck around to the end of the video, let's go up to the house and I'll show you what it is. All right, friends, I'm out of breath. That was a long walk up here. So right there is the transfer tank we're gonna mount in the truck tomorrow. It's a 40-gallon tank, and I also have a new pump to put on it as well. It will mount on the other side of the toolbox. Now, like I was saying earlier, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So I'm gonna pull the truck up here into the shop, and I hope it fits in the shop. I've never tried to pull it in there before. That way tomorrow we can work in the dry. I'll have to put Mr. Cotto at the very back of the shop in order to make this fit. Let's see if we can get it in there. I think I'm going to open this back door that leads to the sawmill so I can park Mr. Cotto further that way, so we've got more work, my goodness, more room to work on the truck tomorrow. You guys hold your ears. These doors are kind of loud. I think we're good. All right, friends, it does get more exciting than that, watching a guy pull a truck into a garage to see if it will fit. Pretty exciting stuff here on the channel. You guys will be seeing this video after Christmas, so I hope everybody had a good Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow because we're going to install this diesel transfer tank. I've never done that before. We'll see how it goes.